Hall leader, Mr. Lynch, has been concentrating his campaign in the past few days very much on marginal constituencies in which seats may be won or lost. And the pace of his campaign has hotted up. He's covered over 1,000 miles in the past 3 days. Confidence is growing in the Fianna Fáil camp. It's quite evident at times that they feel that they, rather than the government, have managed to dictate the issues upon which this general election is being fought.
Fianna Fáil's chosen issues are inflation and prices and unemployment in particular. Prices dominated in a tour of Dunleera and Dublin shopping centres.
In one day. And what does it happen tomorrow? It would be the same again. Well, you know, like fish.
This is not for kids.
For kids, yes.
I mean,
it's convenient way for giving them fish. Yes. Cheap. Not cheap anymore. We'd certainly tackle that problem. We'd certainly tackle that problem anyway. David Andrews mentioned what would obviously be the main issues, the immediate issues in this election, prices and unemployment. But there's more than that involved. There's a question of national confidence. There's a question we have been getting the same kind of response for national progress for change.
from the market. What we get out of it is very bad.
Very little, yeah. And then you can have what it costs too much. And this is what you have. Thanks very much indeed.
His tour of Dunleera and Dublin and a visit to Wicklow and Bray occupied Wednesday. By Thursday morning, Mr. Lynch was in Edenderry and Lynch. The same themes dominated.
We would have to reverse the trends that have set in over the past 3 years in this country. We would have to reverse the trends of unemployment. We have to reverse the trends of escalating inflation and prices in order to give the people in this country the opportunity to live and work in happiness and in prosperity. This is your right. This is
in Mount Rath, an attack on the government's part in adding to inflation was coupled to the question of employment and youth employment opportunities in particular.
Say that it wasn't their fault. That is the fault of the outside people, of the Arabs and other worldly conditions. But they admit also that they have influence and control over inflation as to 50%. And they have failed miserably in this respect because they have sanctioned increases in areas like ESB, transport charges, postal charges, and other areas where they can have a direct influence, and they have failed miserably to exercise that influence. Now, the second most important area, and perhaps it's maybe even more important in a sense than the prices area, is unemployment. And I can see a lot of teenage young people here around me. And I'm fearful of the attitude they might adopt in years to come, unless the government of the day is able to provide job opportunities for them.
Then it was into the cars again for another high-speed sweep across the Midland roads of Lynch to Mount Mellick and Port Arlington before he arrived in Port for the first of the evening's two main meetings.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This reception for our team here tonight, our candidates, and for myself, has truly been invigorating, stimulating, and most encouraging.
By lunchtime the next day, Friday, the invigorated, stimulated, and encouraged Fianna Fáil leader was arriving in Kilorglin by helicopter. Since Port the previous night, he'd spoken with Tullamore, and he'd visited the Kerry Gaeltacht. Now he was engaged in a lightning tour of the Ring of Kerry as his campaign hit the North and South Kerry constituencies. The scenery was spectacular, but there was little time to admire it. Before the night was out, Mr. Lynch would have visited Killarney, Tralee and Ballybunion. Now, as evening began to creep in, the Fianna Fáil leader arrived in Kenmare and indicated that he was encouraged by what he'd seen on his tour so far.
I'd be very impressed by what appears to be enough sort of feeling, enough sort of support for Fianna Fáil. But what has impressed me even more is the number of young people, teenage people, many of whom, for the first time since the last election, will have votes. For the first time, remember, there are about 2 million people on the register. And of these 2 million people plus, there are about 400,000 young people. So they represent, judging by the numbers of those who are greeting us and who are
and that fifth of the electorate is one which Mr. Lynch has been assiduously wooing. On Saturday, his nationwide journey took him through Cork, Carlow and Kilkenny.
What's your grandson? What's your name?
By now, he should be striding out on the campaign trail in Cavan. For Mr. Lynch, too, the battle goes on.